What's going on, wrestling fans? Bandit is back with you again with my WrestleMania predictions. WrestleMania is just around the corner, and it is looking like it is going to be a stacked card. And basically, I cannot wait for this. I think this is going to be one of the better WrestleManias of the past few years, but we'll have to wait and see. It's looking like a good card, honestly and truthfully. Like everything that I have seen from the pre-show all the way up to the main show, it's looking pretty good. So let's get into my predictions. Now we're going to start off with the kickoff show. It's going to be 2 hours long, and I'm only going by what's on WWE website right now for what's on the card. So if I miss anything, I'm sorry because it wasn't on there, and I'm not covering John Cena versus The Undertaker. That match should not be happening at all, period. Not this year, not next year. Undertaker is retired. That's all I'm saying about that. Alrighty then, let's start things off with the finals of the Cruiserweight Championship tournament as Cedric Alexander takes on Mustafa Ali. So I gotta admit, I don't watch a lot of 205 Live, a lot, or if any, I should say, but I know a bit what's going on. So I do believe that before Enzo Amore was released from what happened late last year, if you haven't heard about that, Enzo Amore was accused of sexually assaulting a woman. Now, nothing has been brought up. There's been no charges, but he was released from the company because he didn't disclose the investigation back in October. So he wasn't released because of the allegations. He was released because of him not informing the WWE of it. That's a no-no. And as champion, he was released from his contract. So they had to set up a tournament to declare a new champion that's going to be crowned at WrestleMania. Before all that happened, though, I was sure that they were going to put Cedric Alexander in that spot as Cruiserweight champion beforehand. But then that happened, and then they totally revamped 205 Live. Vince McMahon is no longer in charge of it. It is now Triple H who's the showrunner. They inserted former Rockstar Spud, now called Drake Maverick, as the GM. And from what I've heard, things have really turned around for 205 Live. It's more of the Cruiserweight Classic style than the character-driven style that Vince McMahon likes. So, and I still think that Cedric Alexander is going to be Cruiserweight Champion, and I think that's going to happen at WrestleMania. It's going to be a great match between him and Mustafa Ali, and they're going to put on just one hell of a match. It's going to be fun to watch, and Cedric Alexander will be coming out of that the new Cruiserweight Champion. Next up on the card, we're going to be seeing two Battle Royals on the pre-show. Let's talk about this one just quickly and the controversy surrounding this one, but it is now the Women's WrestleMania Battle Royal. So like I was saying before, there has been a lot of controversy surrounding this stuff that I was not aware of, honestly. When this was announced, it was originally the Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal. But there was such an outcry on Twitter because of all these allegations. Now remember, these are allegations. Moolah is not alive to defend herself against these allegations, but so many former women's wrestlers who were under her charge have come out saying all these things about her, that she withheld pay and that she basically undertrained women so no one would get as big as her, to just being accused of pimping out women for promoters to sleep with. All those accusations, and the WWE reversed their decision, and they said, well, we're not going to call it the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal, we're going to just call it the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. I think Chris Jericho came up with a great idea to call it the Sensational Invitational Battle Royal in memory of Sensational Sherry Martel. Vince McMahon just basically sloughed it off. But let's talk about the Battle Royal itself. It's going to be, well, they want to say it's the first time Battle Royal, but in WrestleMania 25, there was a 25th anniversary Women's Battle Royal that Santino Marella won, which really gives me pause to even give this Battle Royal any credibility if something like that happened before. But hopefully they learned from that mistake, and a more legitimate female is going to win this. But who's going to win this? You have all the women from Raw, all the women from SmackDown who aren't booked, and you're going to have some NXT call-ups here. So this really, you have to think who's going to win this one. I've heard, people saying Bayley's going to win this one. Carmella. It could be somebody from NXT like Peyton Royce or Nikki Cross. I think it's going to be Sasha Banks. Just no other reason. I just think it's going to be Sasha Banks. Just out and out Sasha Banks. No real reason, but I think she's going to win it, and we could see her turn heel. Everybody's been clamoring to be like, oh, Bayley should turn heel. No, Bayley shouldn't turn heel. Absolutely not. Sasha Banks is a much better heel, honestly. If you've seen her in her NXT days, her heel game was just spot on. So I think Sasha Banks is going to win the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. Switching over to the other Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Let's talk about that now. So the Andre the Giant Battle Royal could go any way, pretty much. You have like the lower to mid-card guys in this one because, you know, they got to get the payday from WrestleMania as well. You know, everybody has to get their own. So this could, you know, anybody could take this one. I don't have a real favorite in this one. And it also helps that the last 3 years I've said, oh, he's going to win this. He's going to win it. And he's going to win it. He's going to win it. And yeah, it's been somebody completely like Mojo Rawley over Braun Strowman. Are you serious there? Like that? Yeah, and look at how well Mojo Rawley's doing now. And then the year before that, I was saying, oh, it's going to be someone else. It was Baron Corbin. I think maybe the only year that I got it right was the year the Big Show won it, the second year. I think I might have gotten that one right, but I don't really remember. Anyway, taking a stab in the dark here, we could see Big Cass return. We could see Samoa Joe return. Matt Hardy could win. I don't know. I'm just, you know, flipping a coin, throwing a dart here, and I'm going to say Big Cass returns and wins it. How about there you go. How does that work for you? Anyway, let's get into the proper card, and we're going to start things off with the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships being defended in a triple threat match as champions the Usos take on the New Day and one of my current favorite tag teams, the Bludgeon Brothers. The Usos and the New Day have put on some great matches in the past, back last year. They stole the show every time they were on the card. I think it was either their Battleground match or their Hell in a Cell match that was really one of my favorites. I think it was their Hell in a Cell match. That match was freaking awesome. Then you have this past was it Backlash? No, Backlash is the next one. Fastlane. Yeah, Fastlane. You had Usos and New Day again, but this time there was no conclusive winner when the Bludgeon Brothers came out and just beat the crap out of everyone. I really like the Bludgeon Brothers. They just get in there, they just pound the crap out of you. Like, to see both Harper and Rowan throwing drop kicks is just amazing. And then there was this one time on SmackDown when they did an atomic drop. One of them looks like he was going for an atomic drop, put him on the other guy's shoulders, and he powerbombed the jobber, and the jobber just let out this blood-curdling scream. It was the funniest thing ever. And it just goes to show you how well they're booking the Bludgeon Brothers, just making them total annihilators. So when you get the three of them in this match, this is going to be a wild brawl. But how do you book it? How do you book a finish of it? Well, I think the New Day is going to be taking the fall here for the Usos. I think it's too soon to put the belts on the Bludgeon Brothers just yet, but you have to keep them looking strong. You can't make them look weak after they've been dominating since their debut. So you get the Usos and the New Day fighting, and you have an Uso pin a New Day member for the 3 count for the Usos to retain the titles and to keep the Bludgeon Brothers looking strong. So in the end, it all works out there. You know, I think New Day's in this just to take the fall, and the Usos are going to retain, but look for the Bludgeon Brothers to just go totally wild in this. And this is going to be, it's going to be a fun one to watch. I don't think it's going to be the match of the night, but it's going to be a fun one to watch. Keeping with the Tag Team Championships, let's switch over to Raw this time as the Tag Team Champions, the Bar, the Raw Tag Team Champions, take on Braun Strowman and a mystery tag team partner. So how do you bury an entire tag team division? Well, that's very simple. You have the Tag Team Champions completely run roughshod over everyone, say there's no one worthy to take them on for the tag titles, have a battle royal for the number 1 contendership of the Tag Team Championships, and then have a singles wrestler go in and just beat everybody. The complete burial of an entire division. I understand it's to get Braun Strowman over, but could you have done it in a better way that doesn't bury an entire division? So now you have Braun Strowman taking on the Bar, and we don't even know who Braun Strowman's tag team partner is. I've heard names thrown out. It could be Elias, it could be this guy. I think they did something really funny this past week on Raw when Braun Strowman came out as Brain Strowman. When I think of that, I think of Brain from Pinky and the Brain walking around and saying, "You're going to get these hands, Pinky." "I'm not finished with you, Pinky." If I ever see Maurice LaMarche again, I'm going to ask him to do that. Maurice, can you say this? "You're going to get these hands, Pinky." So now you got to ask yourself, A, who's going to be Braun Strowman's tag team partner? And B, are they going to win the tag team championships? Well, it really all depends because, maybe Big Cass will step in there. I can see that happening. If Big Cass steps in there, then they might be tag team champions. But if it's anybody like Elias or Kurt Hawkins, might not be him after he got thrown through a wall, but Kurt Hawkins or anybody like that, they're probably just going to be in there to take the fall because they've already advertised for the greatest Royal Rumble in the Middle East. I can't remember where. That Cesaro and Sheamus are going to be taking on the Hardy Boys for the tag team championships. So I know that all falls under card subject to change, but so yeah, this could go either way. For now, as much as I want to see Braun with a title, I'd rather see him with a major singles title. So I'm going to say the Bar are going to retain the tag team championships in this match. Moving back over to SmackDown, the Women's Championship will be on the line as Charlotte Flair takes on the first ever winner of the Women's Royal Rumble, Asuka. So back at the Royal Rumble, they said something that really stuck out to me because I thought this was always the rule, but apparently they changed it and now it's back again. But the winner of the Royal Rumble could challenge the champion of their choice. Now, I didn't know that this was ever changed to they had to face a champion on their brand, but I think Asuka played this smartly by not telling anybody who she picked to face. Unlike, I don't want to say that Shinsuke Nakamura didn't do it wisely when he said he wanted to challenge AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. We'll get to that match later. But it was really smart of Asuka to play as close to the chest because everybody assumed that, she's going to take on Alexa Bliss for the women's title. No. Didn't you hear what they said? She could challenge anybody she wanted. And they already gave away Asuka versus Alexa Bliss, so that was kind of be anticlimactic when she won, or if she won that. So they did it smartly to have her come out at Fastlane and point up to the WrestleMania sign to Charlotte Flair, signaling that match is happening, and I cannot wait. This, I think, is going to be the best women's match on the card, even though there's only going to be technically 3. But when you have somebody who's technically proficient like Charlotte Flair against just this force of nature like Asuka, it's going to make for a great match. And as much as I love Charlotte Flair, Asuka's going to be taking the women's championship at WrestleMania. Because the streak has to continue, honestly. From what I hear, she's going to remain champion up until next year's WrestleMania. This is all rumor and innuendo at this point. But up to next year's WrestleMania in New York, New Jersey. And she'll be taking on Ronda Rousey for the championship at that point. So, don't know what's going to happen. There's still, the possibility of Carmella cashing in. Yeah. See, I forgot she was the Money in the Bank holder because they're not doing anything with her. But there's always the possibility she could cash in, or try to cash in at least, and then get her head kicked off clean to the 5th row by Asuka. But Asuka's going to become the new SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Now let's go over to Monday Night Raw for their Women's Championship as the champion, the goddess Alexa Bliss, takes on the irresistible force, Nia Jax.